Obaapapa, but ya sana meka ya no omotimi abomu ndi bia e recording te no se ewie kura na still ya the recorded one but was na be ya mu betimi ahwe na yetimi atoa so many is mame embra wo ho no mo efise we say die me pese ye hwe ne ka ho asemefa okwa awo mu ne nasefo a enti unyimu a na se ebia wo se na ye bra e ka se nyame bi ntimi sisi so na se wo kwoti bi mu a wontimi en unsure wontimi ma wo en control a na chese wo hu say there is problem going on edie na obetimi aye afon say bia wo se wo kwoti bi esa mu a
yo so even so onyem na ko hospital a say ye be kai a ye ma ye screening form bi e ma ye hwe say wo symptoms ni bia ye beba no so depressive symptoms say unye hu say must score certain amount bia na chese e boboba eti no de obeye ne say first of all and also ye be clear some mate being so obe ask for help me a professional me ti here make a professional help. I know say Ghanaians and also ube professional help obe boa ye no oba ye ho a ene say bia de enim ne ye be chiro no de wo ene de wunim eno na ye be boa ama wankasa wa fa kwan bi so ama o depression ayeden akọ iti no mesre Ghana for onyem ohun se my isolated obi wo hanyin sem obesu saa wawo na e wo se de enije ba no obesu saa edide krampo no onye de ondidi afede akola ne dance nkra na akola ne se bi oni ho ye wehi ana se ne ho ye omobo esan se ohun se anya ade a metimi ahwe akola no ni nyina ye science wo say you taking note of it. I know say krom ha no Ghana de owo a wo aboafo bebre but ha no owo a onko a wom so benya mwa kakra but here eno no cause a lot of postpartum depression among young Ghanaian women and I say yeah ye to kwaya ya ba he etunya hu sa science nkete ebi wo ha kra wontimi nda sebi akola no so krampo susu eti dana wontimi nda no etimi cause side depression no okay ebia opese woda no wa start afa eduro ba ko we wa fa eduro mienu we ebia wakofa nsa kakra eno so ye beba ho no mo because onu mo nsa no ayeko akola no ono so ye de obenya kakra especially breastfeed ya no say no DCF timi ba wa asemu eti ebia ono ojesa wano monsa ansa na wedidi ono monsa ansa na wada ni nyina ya science wo say bohobie mami gale akaze ya fa appetite me pa cho o yo bata ya twa kakra bi asa no bedidi na no de out unye hu say wo call ya dosa aniama na ampacho depression no ebi anya no nkwa ye bo ada eniama could be a medical condition but you seeking for professional help ye be go through screening na you rule out ye we na ekosi say ye we na ekosi say e ma ye mfa nhye ye ho na bibi nso kire wa adwen a you know asem ne kra show chim ne kra timi ku ana say wa wadwen timi kire e ma answers bia enwo say oye etino onya help na wutimi ka wasem na therapist ni timi boa e church niam e wasa oye eno eboa eti meshramo awo ne de eye major cause of depression ma about time enya Ghana fonko abrofo kra obia about time bia postpartum depression is real.
Okay. My member Frank is once about minia pa obeni. Frank, eba Africa for more. Emu dia hinyama ya bubo sui. Dia hina ye common pa. Was say ye ma ye ni di echwe.
But enam den causes na as a prestation factors na yekaya no
nyema mental health issues no die bi ase na yaka abatan die yaka alcohol die yaka but die na master die hu se bi a Africa for die
baako a as a yeka ne say yempese ye beka ho asem nanso common. I would say trauma. Yes.
Esa sembi ato no. Ana say die.
Trauma in the sense like life experience or life mu onyini asembi or how be yaw bi a ukomu na wo ho anytime wa adwene bekoso bia no na akonyane asem na ba mema example obi ewu odofu bi ewu so odofu bi pa ewu every life. Another thing accident and ade baako pa so no so meka e wo ha say sexual harassment and I say sexual abuse.
Okay.
It's something I say hidden. We don't want to even hear it.
Especially African community.
Especially African community. Say teenager cry na sa kora e ko ka kire ne maame ne papa say ni pass mesia so me say wa ye mesia ofro o ya kora boni da be na hunu sa de no into yes a waka akora na hye akora na de ewo ni mu a obeka on trust bibi ha na obe trust in na fofo because he or she will get the validation from there. And a house you can sexual abuse. You hunu say nye a man kwan ye sexually abuse or more. Inti oba bema na say bema penimu kra ebetimi akosa tibia no. But sa nyema we no yempese ye bebo so even yenya kasa ya yakomu bi krampo no yempese ye bebo so because your friend say a shame. Because to be a ye oba bibi now sure ba pa sabi obosi utimi say o woni dibia na sa asem na kwakoto no heading so beka na obi krampo a validate feeling na ma inti amana be ye bibi hyenkofo mu a kofo bibre a ye wo African community one in one way or the other I would say have gone through trauma, especially sexual trauma. Wa bra e so mutima da so didi o mutima ne affect bi no relationship ade na ha no 20 years ago no and the relationship foforo nkwa e hante no obi suku anase obi abra bo ne life obo no sad na e see some time ago e bia ne dofo bi ohwere ni ntina ma ontimi move on. And also who say you need that professional help where you can be validated. I can't say oh ya kraboni and I say oh I didn't at all one show who ye because no matter what whether show who you one show who you nyama bebre bet me at all enti yen so a yen ko sati bia no ma men kan fa hon so obi e kasa kyerwa so unya empathy bi na nya osutie ye dai e ma nipa kro no na nipa kro no hu se asemi bi ma no ka ye ambe ye we wo me so ame antene say we na ye ni say no abaya we no mu ye ni say no oh abranti we ni yeso obi ko ye ni say no sa stigma ninti nkofo ntimi nkam asem enti ne ye ka say you need professional help asema obekọ professional clinician therapist akokan empie it is said ye ka say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Ufi office on my therapist no so pia everything stays there.
Okay. Mami embra oho ansamako sister Benny so because obetimi aka for about time because mami for ni ye ne tire sa aka wanutum akola because asemi frank akopeja be very big ipa mi ni makola bia ono so sa ye ni kola brem akola ye nya be 23 de bia na ebusa no na why no boyfriend e that call me tina so sent I want to confide in you akola ni me tina sensem o kan ye no akola ni wo 11 years ena obi oti ne papa no nchen eye ne sa up to now akola ni so wo ho no mu a na wakai still onya ti mikro me ye na akola ni be ka kire me no sense so confide in me ni ntino but also catch them some nka tinti ni parent kwa no me so e me den se me dey me ka kire no enti se akola bi koti bia bi sa mu a Ghana for an Africa for na de bia ye come no se no aboa ben ye betimi de aboa wo
nti aboa e wo hwa ne say always just speak to a trusted person, and trusted persons and so no was say obi a ugini di one obetima professional and two who say ana me pese me can say ebia inamfo bebre because ana mostly no teenagers and I say new crop of generation no obeka che no ebia na wantumi amana advice papa ope ntina ye ka professional advice no but so onya catch obi a or trust na so obi ka bibi sa kirewa ade ba ko a first thing so ka che say nipa ne say mejudi eden na opese menye mo all the time because the moment I will catch nipa ne say or so obi aye no bibi say na ba catch and say mejudi say wo cancer asem wo ache mejudi eden na opese menye mo the moment I will catch no see the okan no na kuma toni yam e ma ne hu say emoa wo ho and the only helper we to send their money pana ne so be catch and say mumma munko hu professional no mo no who say ya community man I say we are say we yetati condition be a friend PTSD post traumatic stress disorder nti see the okan no unkra brema na say 11 years old girl asema work no eno na friend PTSD nti sa trauma na when onyane that time na want to me address and I want to man confine the obi a one corporate treatment na help no eno na di na chia mana be di 23 no still eda so hunhuna no nti ye kan dey hunhuna nti wa na ama ne ma hye no nti sire o kan no obekọ akọware mpo but still ebe wo ni trim and ebe wo na tiko nti bon say ni behavior na ni suban ka ense oda na di kire ni kunu no yes a kire ni kunu because after all punish ni kunu no for obi ade a oyema no nti na ye kan no PTSD nti so otati say obi ka say oh obi we PTSD no wanya e che say wanya trauma be in the past one treaty omuomu aso e hye e no so e natural say at time bia nyama boni bia wo mpese ebepie ana wo mpese obekai wow body no make sure say obe suppress it but say one to am pe help na bon say wo ho future na ade na be suit mo na oyema hyew nti wo kọ bibi na wo kọ bibi ho a na sa ade kro na the same thing na in line na fere oyem hyehyew untumi nye ade ni bio nti na say wo kọ pe help na ultimate because mostly your mental health condition you shouldn't treat man nko ana mostly ni nyina lifelong no na be na antisa kosi so ubewu but yetimi manage man be minimum kra ama ultimate live okay life into PTSD no and kind into abuse trauma accident anything bia a cause of pain no and ultimately the causes are PTSD no ama in the future now after that starting handle
answer near beba examples of mental health diagnosis no mami nko because our subject no ehu hia me pan sense makoye oba time na mehu senior yankola ani bi problems on face wo school on fie mu any baby a bia especially yenya ye wo approach no dodo na no eya ne de yemma na koja wo Ghana ana ye de mo koja baby enti no eho na start no me de me ba koja wo baby me de me ba koja wo baby no ho na start se eba ni se a wa kire de etimi to akora no eba ni se ne ye de omo ba mo ho no mu anase ye de omo ba bi therapy ni dia e de mboa e na ye de mo se no obi be hu se oh there's this kind of help so what say meko
so obiba therapy akolaba therapy bi our go through trauma and also mental health symptoms especially with a trauma piece no we call something processing we help akolano to process the trauma. It was all ka ni nyina de see ye bia it was all ka no so ye therapy but ye wo how ye ne beka ye make sure say environment ye ne akwala no create ama nkwala no, it should be non-judgmental. We should have empathy for akwala no. Aha, say be authority na awhye no. And no more rape you no. You know, we don't do that in therapy. We don't blame the victim. The victim is always the victim. Anna, say krom ha na see ye. Ni se perpetrator me who say na make perpetrator no wo twi mo.
Jodi
bone no wa ha eno die. Ye do be famra kwan so. No matter what, we don't have anything. Oh, me pese jodi bone no me pacho ebi oya me papa oya me wofa oya me uncle enti no me hra mo fa nche no eno de yenye sa wa ha. Jodi bone ne so wa ha nko ade a ye de ne be famra kwan so. Enti no and also the justice eba ema nipa ne so ho to no ho say nipa ye odi me bone me hu say ono so anya ne so aketwea, you know, and just so ye bad and na say wunye Christ no we di bone no it was say ye de ne famra kwan so na mra kwan ne so no enye say bia ukoda jail and no kwa ye do be fa bad rest program mu ama sabio wansa nkoye akola bi foforo bone bi eye parents ana ye san so a ye be yi akola no efisa environment na owom no ebia odi ni koja baby ye be make sure say baby ade ni koja no no onye den mfa ne nkoho biom ebia parents ni here na case management no ebem no ebia parents ni baby akọ omuni after school program bia akola no be because of finances yeah assessing ye hu say oh I think say financial problems you have to meet the income eligibility requirement. We meet here you be provide after school program ama akola no ama wako ebia parents no kra ebi okra no ni edwuma ye yetimi den eboa family no housing ebem yetimi boa ema housing if only you meet the criteria emwa de bebre wo ho no mo eti we ni mwa ni bia obi ba counseling ebia ne ba wafa trauma bi mu oba counseling na emwani bi wa ha ye de mom no changes in environment and also Obaapapa.
Okay. Now munji ni say bia akola bi sometimes I feel say would be out taking a personal do adie we adie was we taking a personal work or school yakosere wo kakra Ghana de atwetwe ye yende yakosere wo kakra enu no mumma yen chirechim kakra menim say yen kola ni bi wo ho mu so face sa problem wo your bad time na bi akola bi de sa brewa wo bi de sa brewa de na wo say wo ye
and na Frank at the beginning no or explaining what mental health na etie no say ade bia eto a ni coping den ma no mental health ete bia wo ma me na akola na be ka kire wo na yesiri wo school be okay akola na onye okay what you say nte wo say wo tie ase say me ba na yasiri no school onye okay with it let's accept it na yembo akola no ebia wo crampo no oya akola no o ma me didi watem wenim se shoe akola na aka che ne se wenim se shoe that is verbal abuse it me causes PTSD na Daniel D can explain it and it me cause trauma ema akola no ebia wo ya akola na yebo that is generational difference ono ni wiasim sisia no ye mo akola etu ubo na etimi cause yaw ebi ma no wahu wo ya bo no wo ya okay because nkwala ni omu enyi ye nyra ya bo obia ye twe obia
but me say bra me akola so asa ka chewe no so ko afafa so na nkan
etino esro say akola ni ntimi enkopi enkwa na be cause emotional distress no e was say ye den ye tie akola no e ma ye nka se o e be ko ana say bompa ye nkwa e be ko e was say niema e was say ye and also ka ho wa ho positive thoughts ebia you wanna encourage that okay ebia ya shrin was school bullying Musa han say a big thing what happen Bagana yesre obolo but aha no ntimi nyesa because wo Ghana no ntimi copy with it aha no de ye ntimi copy with it akola ni say ontimi a ontimi e was say yetisa de na se pa wa ha
wow Mama, me kasa jauna kasa dia, oba kasa because it's very interesting. So for them I hear and no, I am very very interesting. To just me to see dia, na wo say ye nyanti ase say, ade a wo betimi no, enye obi entimi. Nti so no kasa ontimi a, e wo say ye tena se, ni ye man no, emboa ehuhia. Wow. Yembra example of mental health diagnosis. Minim do pese o hyase e wo ho no mama
met my shase nti met say ya bobo so ya no you mu bebre but you more common ones and you ebi ones so enya common minim say what so that say you taka so obi wo ADHD and ADD ADD and okay on okay nti won say obo a you say o akra we dey or hyper or ADD nti eno need full name ankasa attention deficit hyperactive disorder eno mo atwa so na ADHD nti eno ye common pa won kra na minim say Ghana na yewa nkra bebre omoni so kaka ba hado ya na ye dey ball say wani so ya kaka do nti wo attention deficit na say ontumi ntena still ontumi ntena din ote hwa so sorry like ontumi nya still teacher ni kasa o class a ontumi nya still entie teacher ni no nti mo na opre na ofegite na o sorry no we say hand no mfa no ADHD attention deficit and yes and depression there mean say and there be okra amount for share that candidate agro e need them I depressed and I say me feel depressed but depression is one of the big mental health conditions that unya very deadly and yes and almighty one by could be so offend bipolar bipolar and also meaning say ABIAT so be we were bipolar bipolar and also yeah DBI and also a mental health condition and no into depression any happiness but happiness and no depression it be extreme when you are a broso ora hoso a ebroso ensese yes anti any all bipolar
and only bipolar no yen kwa ne one because yen starting free depression
okay
depression no me patcho benis member also with enkola ne dia na high o say no ye den
AD hyper attention deficit
no no me the member so about time dia na ye ni pre one no so me member so yembra yen nwa frank so ne meka depression because any dia se na bra kan ye no enche ne ya de ama ye ho ya diagnose ye me ye depressed pa ye na my depressed time ben was say you say why you depressed and yes say ye kan keke say ye kan keke
okay so depression in itself to say that Daniel kind depression no abroad even depression you munchichemu but for the sake of this discussion no you be can general depression now obia enim no. And some of the common symptoms that ube who say a man say be mo be who so depressed no e be ni a change in your mood to say sadness all of a sudden and just say one day I didn't see depression normally for you to be diagnosed with depression no, it should go on for 2 weeks so that one should be clarified just say and then and also it shouldn't be say be for medical reason be not happening to Nabia, you are just depressed. It's a condition that call like that sadness state no or what did your appetite as a son obi on say oh what did you okay I said loss of appetite be so did ya na say or case o did so stop it like o di bibia bi yet we say obi are depressed ma what did no aye kese and also honum and we are announce the pakroning that send sleep and so on to me day and that year to say the normal ebianka first pan or 8 hours straight no ada and I say at least ebi adwuma 7 honum kwa no ada and I say 9 na se sia ne de oto honum a ebia 2 hours
No, sorry.
No, sorry. And now, sir, or talk 15 hours. Time I so crass also sorry, echo Dumakra on physics, sir, already. Or and these symptoms and so no should affect daily activity. To say what that to the point, say, time I declared Dumakra, no, I day. A trim for the last 2 weeks. That's been the pattern. We're doing for their neck also. At that moment, you could see, say, something is going on. And one big thing, and so I type them, why Johnny, sir, Johnny said, you are hopeless. Abrabo cry, some fast one day. Me could track him, Prama Cam, Bomicran answer. A drew ye walk, I mean, nomina, Bibiasu in chakra. The moment I will begin to have those negative thoughts about life, just to give up, it's a big red flag. You have to go for help.
Wow. And then I end up making money. I miss you. You might be oh, Muhono. And I must say, when is my member? Wana Yembeya. Yet the fees are muntimin tenacia. Now I say, the mission there, shikeki. Na, vetch muno. Me, Martin so say. Akolani yes no more ye edina to withdraw so enu so nti na ama awofo na ya na ye ya yempese ye bekwa kakra na de me a metwe se ni na se na me ye chire na seto
and ye den beko Ghana
me do beko Ghana na sefo de nwura
yo so ADHD no so no ya me hu se Ghana fo bebre ka o mba na ni so na ye hye keke ebetimi aye no kresa akola na ni so na ye hye ana se ye hwe even human growth your development Ube say a certain stage be akola timi ye no oka bibi chena no why and no aya na ye normal growth o de ehwe akola we di 2 years o start take asa obusan don't sit why and no nche so ye ADHD e normal at that age no it is yes ADHD diagnosis na ye hwe sa niam ni nyina na say akola na meet certain criteria na so meet certain criteria and sana ya diagnose no ya man so no class no so on the on na se e bia we do age bia wo say ultimate na se wo class no betwe ho hia no bit no akobo no na or distract class no e bia onene ka asema e bia wo so otna se na otie no na adwen no intimi your friend a lack of concentration ebia or impulsive another part of ADHD ne say impulsivity or say me ade we ya me missing me no matter what the consequence and no na me eti we ni eniama bia ye den ye hwe ama yeah, sometimes ADHD na de bia na akwala running around or ADHD yeah diagnosed with ADHD obi wo otias otena sidin but nneema ekoso wo na adwen mu no eti yes assessment no ema ye de ye hu so wo ADHD na ema eduro ne so no enya se ye hu so akwala no wo ADHD nti no ye ma we eduro anom no first of all school ye ma say school na e bia wo ma hu a school need to me IEP individual education plan ema akwala no eno na wofo no so mote hobi akwala ne so wo ho so betimi a wo ho no mo ansa na paraprofessionals will be able together na ya IEP ama akwala no okay ye hu se akwasi anase akwasia class no ontimi itnase ene edu reading time a ye be ma akwasia ko different room no anya ono kwa teacher no aye den onena aye reading no ye wo ebi so a in home therapy na no ne se therapist ne beba ofie oni akwala no aye den aye therapy and sometimes it involves the family because trust me your parents ne beba we are triggers to the kids ebi aniama ye hwe wo TV so ye bedwin so ya akwala but ono so hwe bi eti home therapist ne beba no ne family ni nyina ye therapy one na ye play therapy agro santa mo hu si edi agro so ne patche therapy na say obi ka so oba agro nkwa no ne me ba ne di nesa ye church akwala no se na obeye de obetimi manage ne something okay it is no kone say eye true extreme na no na ya psych referral.
Okay.
Nti no na ya evaluation because ADHD no a neurocognitive disorder. Eti no ya psych evaluation. Nti psychiatrist na be determine say I think say symptoms no too much, maybe we need to regulate certain neurotransmitters our colony brain and sana ya manage obeye den or ebe managing the kakra eti edro no yeah me empase ebeka edro ho asem bebre because I know your psychiatrist ni role.
Okay.
But edro na nya all the time na akwala no e so ebi wa ha certain age we betimi manage and no psychiatrist na onene wo ho no de bia o na evaluation more time the evaluation I think say draw no dosage na was say ba form e was say ba soro e was say ejai enti no mesremo enye draw nko a na mom ye wo behavior techniques so a ye use ma akwala no symptoms no e ba form
Enye so ba ya na
yeah me pese me kan bi kakra condition bi or but ya moso because no ana ya fan kan we ho but mostly no say nkwa e wo ADHD na ade ba akwa test screening for autism.
Okay.
Because so we screening now rolling it out say oni sa autistic trait in e wo ni mu because mostly no say omo was traits in wo mu a that's a cardinal symptom and subana omodana de no ye autistic traits inti so what me really no out then you know say krakra no ye keke autism no but so koye autism screening no so na so autism there then you know say any attention deficit no pekeke no but autism ewom but see the all kind more na behavior management inti you will be a friend applied behavior analysis ABA into minim say no so ABA omo na atida ABA bonzi can say ABA into no I draw crash it all kind last resort.
Okay.
Because ombe behavior plan amano.
Okay.
Into either say nipa no beba ni fie ebeba abusuafo ni fie ana say ombe call center omo center ho a omde akra no wo de akra no be ko ho na omugu ho no saa bi ABA fo no egu ho no nti obia mostly no ana omo ya no one on one nti behavior na akra no dan adi no ombe hwe na omo aye ahwe so see the assessment na omo ahwe so na omo a check bibia nti say saa behavior no moya na say omo fe no reward system nti say wanya na wa mana reward so or yeah now what take you reward nti that is how omo use you as punishment nti so omo can punishment to say yeah by team there kofa ba no there be but omo no reward system nti if you do what you are expected to do you get rewarded if you don't do it you get that reward and that reward taken away from you next higher punishment amount nti bibi kaka mpasa me kaka ho
ankola ne de ehu hia me pa nti no meba franco no mebusa question me wi a almighty no one of the man na maba wo ho no mani aka no ho asem ekwan be adie enetimi affect akola nso se awofo no ebe nam awofo so ama na affect akola ewufie na akola no ebetimi affect no psychologically and mental ebetimi ama na nya saa issues nya because me hu bi wo ho no mai bia ma me ne papa no mo issues akola na ni mu no ebi omo ko ana se nyema bi saa no nso etimi affect akola no mane etimi di kwa abonti ana otimi
and a wedding can come back say parents address your issues in front of their kids because especially teenage kids cry of you then they are serious because they listen, understand, and hear. Sometimes, they are walking. So you have to know when more addressing issues at home. Whenever conversation course appropriate, say please pause and I say put a hold on it. Say I'm cry not moving say more addressing yeah that's the time and that time I'm crying if you. Now I revisited the issue. Another thing is what is a huge going back to the Edin kind here. When parents, the language that we use for our kids, Ghanaian parents pesa, and it's known. Say ye pe atia ye mana obian kasa me ntia nkra no. Nkra de ye ntia omo. But o tia omo, how do you do it? O tia akra na o yusu uti say wenim say those things have effect on the kids, and it follows them even when they go to school.
Okay.
Right? Affect and be self-esteem to the point say oko school are in class, they will never talk. Because my mom says and now my dad says say to also I print to brain so also accept say sana metie. A bear kakra kra be baby edu baby no other now yet tibo sa. What you say? So some of these things, young parents and I say our for and I near for and our family you feel you can the cause of mental health issues. Another big thing, Accra ever trusting the parents say anything that happens, you are the first point of contact or beba. But I've heard from some teenagers even say or more approach your parents then they brush them aside. Now oh my busy no. Find a way to talk to your kid. Oh Abena Kuya, give me 1 minute. What I say, oh yes sir, and Mark Rano I want to say my mom always listening to me.
Okay.
So I'll go there. Nemo say Obano went Tiena Olusu trust. And that can also become a huge issue. Because you can't mental health issues anywhere with kids in there. Obaapapa a dose of papa and young parents especially. You play big role in some of these things. So I'll say number one, we should be careful. We should be careful with our communication. We should never assume.
Okay.
Said they don't know. Don't assume. Before your kid comes to you, trust me, you're a teenager. While researching the proper or catch or baby sound that. So unima, be open to them. Don't lie to them. Because that's another thing. Okay. Especially Abrochirim Krano. Don't lie to them. Okay. If you don't know, you don't know. Kachano. Ekuya, we di minim name mami mre, mekwa kubusem, ni asaka hwasem. That builds more trust than say, okra hard ni do they are the way. I will say about from African parents should calm down.
African parents should calm down. Remember when I there's a make a more problem. Now one person try to incite the child against the other person. How do that affect the child?
I don't know nice how can our guy
but could try to incite Akolano against the other person.
I know the but my say ade ba ko edi nkwa ni nyapa my adwuma DCF na one of the problems na happen basically a man crash because respect all my mama and all my dada no onya sa respect ni bi because ade bia would feed their crown about the other partner no eno na imprint won it dream this all can say o ma me de o a or b or c then na o generate hate ema that person it say o ma me na wo ye na kire na no o hate ne ma no say ne papa so na wo ma me no wo keka ago akra na so aba ne papa na obon so no o nyini nyina no hate ne papa no nti esa na emma ena generally na ankasa no side nyame ebo family ankasa aware ne enkwada ne bibia no if that two parents are there that is the most comfortable ideal environment a man cry very successful. My DCF example Oma they are always involved with the system no about majority of them are single parents there's a few now who say omo couples are omanya issue with DCF. Majority ni nyina ubehwe mu no nyina one ne maame nko a one ne papa nko a one ne maame ne papa ne maame papa omagyae na a lady problems na anti people actually file report on each other just to punish the other. Because the time we are obi apese oye bibi na hye na ba kono ALS na onu nya akwa because obi anim say den akwa enyi dru ba bia either 18 ekwa onu a making a decision ehu say me pese me ne me maame ana me pese me ne me papa enya relationship but so onya so discord sa no ewo tamo so no a o mess with akwa ne brain no until you just build hatred, anger, among the other person. Until one say, obey nyina oba or so bones and on so follow the same trend. Until okay this year a special system Accra why involved with this year no obey nyina bon on so involved with this year. Bones and a cycle automatic sanity. Ubonze a cycle. Na a cycle nti oba de o catch any bia sisia about o partner e san se bia montama e basa no e kanitrim and where sa obonze hatred nti bonze onso benya afere obewara no the same mindset sa trauma ya kan e no anu no because trauma nti bonze onso benya obewara no the same thing ne ma papa de bonze no onso the same thing nti bonze what the wa for any kai obi a onim so a single parenting bia what they are share ne ma na omo manyi na hwe ono so ne ma obon say pattern nti na ye ka say mental health condition is animal yen share any cause but a genetics ana DNA ewo yemu nti bon say maame ewo ana sisi abon say ne ba bon say na no onso ne ba do bon say sa na afeda be pattern na be party nti say obi ene ne ye ene na ye gya men say o yonko enchere abofra no because the moment you mess out with the child or build hatred nti bonzo onye happy person because because asem na wo kan no kra enim ba wo kan keke sire be ya ba kono wo benya favor wa akra na enim na ye say wo de because wo na wo pe bia abofra na aba won chenti na wa keka nsem na say asha akwa nti wa mess ya we ni brain
okay
wa build the hatred amano to bon say oba bon say no so e be ma akra na e be ma bon say o hate ma say because wo bia papa na wo kan bibi e kire aba ne ma say the opposite so bon say oba bo no so hate ma because ne maame so aka to ne tin say o papa kwasi ampani and nti bon say one mess when the brain to bon say hardly so on so be successful and also be a successful marriage with successful family to bon say the same thing bon say na see wom
okay nti akola akọ sa problem ni mu a eno so wom we bia itime de bu akola ne wo ho ana
mame fakitu abi and so the Daniel kind during therapy
okay
separation or when I hu say akra no and a priority parents no they are there we can recommend for them say omonko family therapy to resolve or more personal issues because some of these things are done here like I've experienced a lot of them where each parents want to be the good parent against the other one but say akra no ejimwa therapy the therapist is going to point that out to the parents say no don't do that because I don't know more why not no so the priority and the person we are helping is the kid. You have your personal issues maybe certain put it aside. The child interest is what we're working on now. That's why we say professional help is always good because parents always want to look good outside. Be a person or not defense in the man what I say, but that shouldn't be the priority. So I just wanted to add that
na me pese bra e kan ayi almighty no but say mama ma kasa agenti no be sister me say eno no be bi mu ni hwe kan ho da yembra eyi no because me say na mo de mo mrani so say yembra bipolar no no so say nya ya na yen ya diagnose amankrofo bipolar enchana ne ni agi ne ni ya ni tuwa ne ni agi sesia na abo na ni buofu eno ne bipolar na say bipolar na kasa no wo ne yi wo
ye beka se ka ho one major diagnosed bipolar one major ade a ye hwe bipolar no ye wo mu two types. Okay. Ye wo bipolar 1, ye wo bipolar 2. Eti ye ni kanka 1 ne ho asem. 1 no na ye di kanka ya no behu na nani age so extreme ye ka say ni ja enye se bi wako party a o ye when ni age ma na broso ma affect our life. Ana ora na ho ne so no and I said depressed now why you depressed ma your friend it affects your daily function. It affects your daily function. Na se sia enyama bi a ye hwe eno no I know say ye di kan aka no oka Ghana mental health anya abodam nkwa ye hu a little bit of it eno no your best friend bibi grandiosity and I say nipa no benya self-esteem. Me mpese me di bia ye hu example me metimi ekumu nyina metimi nipa 2000 akọ abo mu nyina me metimi aye say like too much wa hwe nipa ogina ho krampa ontimi nye obi wo ho krampa obas Jesus Christ na mu sebio Ghana I know say some of the spiritual leaders are ebe wo bi kakra eniama ontimi nya no eno no obaka so ye wo ho eno so wo ho no mo
so dwa wo no
ana o mampa
enu dwa to the extreme enum dwa to we nya normal enum dwa no eye tu eniama wa wo te ho a enye didi asem ne ye ka mental health eniama wa te ho antimi nya no wo na wo yi o ono betimi aye like you know and they are one of the signs ana ebi nso wa ha or taking risky behaviors behaviors na o ye na ehu obe risky behaviors even quite could be shopping or be shopping a whole world ni sika one is sika was all the quarter rent so me as also rent and they're shopping or be ya ma the credit card sika nyina so be so no go so yeah another one I know ebi ayen ka ho asem bebre ye say ubon so oba na se bema ba ko ebi within a week and within them emma oni omo beda no esan say ni mood no e wo soro eti ma oni omo beda na se oba no mema oni omo beda no bebre ono anim sa de ameye ebetimi ama menya STIs and I say ebi kra ye so me mu a you know obeye and also ewo ho no and also risky behaviors ni bi waya onja ono kra mpo no se episode ni twem no no a betena ho edwe ho a o se na de na me yes
okay
you know and also wo ho no mo ana ebufuo extreme irritability and also another just say oh ebia ye no ka ye no bon komo ye no bon komo sisi a wo ne to as na me kreda asa na me ka ya ne buafu no bona ne buafu din pa etimi affecting a relationship with other people it will say at the long run no onye de oni adamfo bia obi wo ha de bia na opacho na episode ne betwem pe na me kreda na me ka trust me see aden na me bufu ye aden na me ye say ebi wo ha nti no obewie no na chese e wo so opacho ana depressive side no edoso pa depressive side no I think say bra frank eka depression symptoms the same thing ebia ne ra ho bipolar no another side no me ra ho oh my too sad ebia nneɛma na ɔyɛ na ɛma n'ani gye no afei de ɔbɛyɛ saa nneɛma ni nyinaa so n'ani gye ebia wɔ hɔ no ope asɔre kɔpa but ɔkɔ asɔre ɔte sɛ ɔte hɔ raw sa n'ani gye ebewie aseɛ no na like suicidal thoughts and so abam ɔpɛ me crampo ɛdɛn me ba wiase bɛyɛ ɛdɛn adentia na yɛbɔɔ me what is my purpose in life na obehu obi wɔ hɔ so ne the depressive side no edidie obedidi saa to cope with it obi nso wɔ ha loss of appetite ompɛ sɛ obedidi ina so obeda obɛyɛ restless like on to be relaxed ni nyinaa yɛ signs and sometimes it was say yɛhwɛ say one pɛ wouldn't qualify you na mmom a class of symptoms yɛyɛ den yɛhwɛ the diagnose you be with bipolar.
And I'm about treatment and so if you say minim say be wo hodoma mo pese mo de ka ho a because any dem mo ka say you almighty tinebia na mu
e do so pa
befa kakra enka ho na yenua Daniel enka 2 no because yes sister can 1 no
okay
and all kind so 1 no what needs to happen no okay you know I know you were Tuesday your friend manic episode and a depressive episode and or trim kama no. But this should go on for how many ways? I know your criteria what I say and won't mean if when you say oh yeah manic and depressed for 2 days. No, it should go on for a whole week and most of the days.
Hey.
That's another thing. No, it should happen most of the day. So when you say no most of the day. So 24 hours are also say more than 12 hours of the day. No, you having these symptoms going on. So I know criteria. No, me person ye eka ho.
Okay.
So yenko ye bra ho no my your friend saying 2 no. Ni because 2 ni so 2 way.
Okay.
Aha.
2 no na is a
hypomanic and the depressive way no.
Nti eno no so no e was say your niema bi wa ye hwehwe a e was ye hu eno so eno the 4 days. Just 4 days consistently sir nti see do kan nya say anopa aba nti na wajai awia na aba na wajai nti dabi e was say twice consistently and also about a amount more energy. I say, why ding? And I would ye at the end of war, and I say, when your energy so be now, why the answer will be show me, and I am out the yes, I name. But say me read the specific things we are
okay,
yes, specifically. I was a who at least. Any amount you whom a baby 5 of those things.
Okay.
More answer yet to me. First, the ever can say restlessness. To me, and diminished interest in all or almost all activities previously enjoyed. Inti see the church inti see the na kind depression normal depression any way also depression almost the same.
Okay.
Near mana who feeling almost like the same thing because depression. Okay. Those are ana ade ba so so say or they can sleep problems and social isolation. Just say nipa mo nipa na wo shada ete asa what ho afri nipa and your sign wo loss of energy and I say difficulty focusing. Because already no energy no wedding can spend it be da. So and I assign recurrent thought of death. That's what so cool. I say person me come but as a new per se na we decide this about ni nyina ye all the chemical imbalances and any happen and Emma will take it all these decisions. And I did about one person and can only say utiminya weight loss or weight gain. Utimiya kesiye and out me phone kete basa. It is a 5 way. I was saying for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I was saying for 2 weeks. It is here to me who Saturday ways are consistently for 2 weeks. Ubenya side diagnosis.
It was self-medication was animal way more.
Hey, that be. Where there any self-medication, say them within kind. Unya we ma a lifelong. Sani e kano. Ye into me and sa, but ye manage. Until the other say, work home professional counselors, outpatient therapists, and I say, and I saw was almost a psychiatrist because I was say a shadow science mouth a drew specifically. I to be control chemical imbalance, to bring some of the things into I say equilibrium. Just I say to me, but that be a level, a better baby, I say a better. Said about it to me function normally because someone I can't wait say 2 weeks. Nasa wo ye niema we mu bia. Nasa wa bra banka sa wo born to me function normal.
Right.
Because you are doing things at the extreme ends.
Right.
Ora ho extreme ma wo ye niema emfata ana woni age a wo ye niema emfata. Those are some of the things that obey to me at the upper help counseling, any medication, no partner obey to me but yen to me inside.
It was your first say and I would do if you didn't to Obaapapa TV so and I won't say ye discuss about mental health kukudam for musia akohu school ene yenya omo ewo hanu mu say ye omo ma ye bre ene ye discuss ye ntimi srew bebia wo bia nya so ne tie ni yie se ne be ya wo so cheche macho bia betimi acheche wenye mehu bi do kan ma ti binti mia me koto kontomre bi edi na be ma moja prosole oma cheche ba mo yati asese ya di betimi di wechiche enti no so hu sa nyema yi omo kan yi bia ni ma mi se omo di omo susu emu a be pem one tentem. Frank, maybe I talk about
yeah. One thing about most people who have the manic episode, bipolar one. Normally, treatment starts from the hospital because of baby or mother. You won't see yourself. So normally, you don't call hospital psych ward, where you are put and you started on medication. So say you didn't panic hospital sana, and yes, because of state because the drone starting nipa na also mo monitor ehunya dro bia na ebetimi dia starting so hospital because a hona psychiatrist ni we for bia ohonom na ya man environment a ye hwe say a drone effect na tesen ansa na ya mana ya dan abefie nti obi koda manic we numa most of them ends up in the hospital, put on medication or started on medication before say wabefie timi live the daily life. And bipolar is one of the friends mental health conditions now. It can pass through the genes. So nana umame uofa osiwabi ubia. It's one of them it can pass on to you. So obusiani bi ewobia. You should be alert and always watch for symptoms.
Okay. Say yana Ghana no ye de ye nim se bibi de bipolar ntino. And don't say across ye busuani bi obi anya de bi won kan show mo. Ntem de ebeye din wo pa namum ye hu de ye be hye ne nso. Before we about treatment, we say a common math about the mental health in our community. Yen can eno first because sasema ye ke nyina no. Ni na wie ko gina so dam no abo ni a chechire no ni a pa asofo obi. Ofi say ye ka se obi abo obi dua obi akesi obi a. Ka eno timi ema saa ensem enyeme ya ma chire yen ne ya na.
Culturally no, baby free ba no. Ye je adrodi. Ye gidwe abodi. Nti ewo ho. Yenim say nipa bone for her ombetimi ato saa ya de na say akopɛ saa ya de na ma. But professionally no, ye nye no ni. Ye be ruling it out because ye feel say mental health ankasa no ye sheda nyim ne course ankasa say we ne course by him say enema bebre ene betumi afa so e de aba ye miswa meka say Ghana nyina na enim e wo ya adwom say obi kɔhye wi a ye so wo bɛbɔ dam nti men kɔhye wi inye wi no per se na o konom ya na e kɔ ama wa bodam but eno na e kɔ trigger bibi within you ama ati afa so nti so on the way nti won share nim e bia wo genetic system no ana wo DNA no unim how ana say e bia echiri we ana say e we ena wa kofa cocaine ana kofa marijuana na wano e hwa na but wasi dwom sa because no na enam so nti ena ye me can say precipitating factors no ana say environmental factors because ana maniema no nti culturally ye gisane mani di but so ba professionally a yenim say ho ogidie ye nton twene
okay
ye do ogidie obi so won be ka kire ogidie bia wo bia either we Christian we traditional we Muslim we den eno a no be gina so e de ama counseling no ogidie no na be ma counseling no but professionally no on attribute to it say obi na abodua because before you betimi ara we are that and then na scanning o brain o bibia hu say ye hu ade kro but of course yes screen so na ha ye be hu say ana say ye bi ana say si but every baby free banning no bibia ye de share abronsam because na onye ni papa ndi ye de be share no say bronsam na ye aha ana say obi na abodua o ana me na bi na yesa
okay
and so make us say biana na cry innocent
ye na na ye ma so ma cho many city yare ya mabobo su yi e bi we ye mo samiare
eno da Daniel kai no se no da wugidie sure say e ye bonsam yare a oba be hu professional a ye no be pensem mo one myth ye tie face wo African and I say ye be before population yes say yeah Africans no we don't like taking responsibility the bia no ye we na ye we na mama ye say we na mama ye say ye no aya na ye ye hu free it oba ye free BBCBT we are gonna use that technique or what drain a crowd no or thoughts na crowd anyhow you judge situation no you be you see na you know what person na wa kasa wa ba into realization ma wa kasa watimi identify na ye be ama wo wa kasa na the long run no wa na wo ba be identify wa kasa nema a trigger wo and even treatment wa na wo ba be ye wa ade but you be use techniques ama wa drain no ayeden aboa wa drain ama na sesa kakra ama wo judgment we are gonna question your judgment and sa eniama wo drain no ye be question ana ade ba kwa me pese ye ti ase ne say seeking professional help is not for the weak and I say ope say okohu obi wo yakeka keke bia wo hu say I think some me cry me wo bibi o na ebia se bi o me Kristoni me ko hu therapist say ye boni o me sro enya boni empire na wo bo na wo pese depression e kono koso anebo na some for professional help na ye den e ka ho aye te se na wo yare ye fan so yare uti o ya ebia wanya o ye fun bi o ya obeka hospital wo ho na wasan ye de abompire aka ho etisa pepepe obebo mpaye pepepe oba therapist no so kra mpo be encourage you say mpaye na wo bo no koso a ne bo ne assign no waye other things ekeka ho no aye den ye no waye ama o symptoms no amanage kode enko kra emo betimi amanage aba level anhwa emba bio depression no it could be single episode it be a one time pen onya depression no ebetimi aba so you can be ebetimi a single episode just one time I am baby mo sign your recurrent it's no mesre enye seeking professional help is not for the weak. And also being a mental health condition cry no crampo nche so you weak. And also oh dear mom pa inta na wama ade we da so it's not for the weak. Esro bia ne how coping with life stresses.
Yeah, that's Sister Bernice. Remember what bebusa will say, Sayari, know your questions, maybe by no Sayari, a wobra. Ebana season ebana obi say near to be or issue but season be on man but before near beba on mami busa you know be my friend say ahụ chire eyi ohia nso timi ma unya saa yare biana
me da say pacho e ka ho say the your brother kind say e ka prestating factors no ho because ahụ chire obi ho achire e san say oni adwuma ye. So, se nipa kro ni ni adwuma ye enya say for ebia 1 week 2 weeks so obo man adwuma ye thing for 6 months no nya adwuma it is 6 months no nya adwuma you going to have financial stress ade a frank of timi tobi she no untimi tobi wadi die mkra be sen so a big thing and also ema enkofo struggle with your friends say depression and I say it can trigger any other psychological way because obi bet ma ko state na fe do aka say I give up or give it up that is what hopelessness how na e trigger those suicidal thoughts no because obe na adwen say afi de ya abrabo ayeden afno me and I say extreme stress because ahochere timi dey extreme stress eba nipa no so. So, true say, and also to me, a cause mental health way.
Okay. Now, I'm saying, Barbara, on that question, I'm Busaya. Monka was some kakrama, you know, the buyer.
Repeat the question.
Or see, say, be one mental health issue. Season be one way to me, giddy, because ne auntie be will be. Now, time be one way to be giddy, to me, time be one so. Now,
the answer my man say mostly no se nipa no what trauma e ka ho a na unse trauma no yen abi before no yen funny serious because see the ya keka ho ha no e bi ade keto bi kra obi di ye wo no at that time bi no e bi no so da so wo achi nti mostly fall weather sebia ya drew form aye kosuwa untumi pie bebre awo aba ana say obi wo ho a that eno ye na anniversary a onya asa trauma no nti a trigger na amaya de no amiem at that point but ebia o free forward no ma winter no untumi pie o hihye down because already your life for your level and more of isolation.
Right.
Because they be asked also show neighbor cry no. Sana your boy brother that until you can imagine say any spring and any summer wedding, birthday party, engagement unya being cool. Because unya be kwana uko meet people, uko socialize any sana and I mean to say unya being go kwana ube share down. Most of the time na 4 period isolation I heightened like I feel that we isolating more from already or mental health condition and it to me a trigger man a kesi more because they all dream more because you are not busy enough.
Right.
Because see the kind of say socially ultimately equal social functions in any a boy Emma reduce ya stress ya see the because party no akosa wani agia oba na wabeda although obo how be share o closet man na wo soon alright but you could see say upie na akoje wani a oba wabre wani age na wabeda oda o sorry a life goes on but say one sign to me nya sa opportunity ni mpo nya you can imagine say na trauma na bibi how dada increase your heighting because already you are isolated more because if you going to me especially snow but you want to sorrow you cancel they say cry na ye tie na ye zoom ye ya sorry zoom a bit ma tena actually ka first cry there ka to me Nti the mechano.
Meka bibi kakraka forward fall season yeah you wom. We say most of the holidays no so your holiday seasons more. Enti sebio amanfo a lose loved ones anka holidays no money hanging around. Ubon said this holiday ebi obi kokrampa you're gonna miss them. Any sign near man no. E ade ba kwa during fall season or your experience as therapist. Conformo I may see our loved ones it cause a lot of depression. Any other mental or more other condition to me trigger and more increased symptoms. And you know, for an idea as a therapist, no, we see a lot of
People coming in.
people coming in for help, increase in depression, and this and man. And even crampon, baby, or obedient need to better crampon. I am a danger for no. Some are wanting we crouch and one no other, but for no, a day. It's sign case management in a cost. This a medium which dine or brepa if baby a mama for it for no a big
a big issue, yeah.
Right, before I become one.
Yeah, another thing I make relating to question na nipa kone edba ene you have to know your triggers. Obia trigger different beside 4 time a year because of inactivity na man makoso. Another thing is here nipa krono anniversary of what happened. Say me be Ephraim and as accident BC nesi 27th July 1999. Every time it will surprise you. Say any time at that date, neighbor, time getting closer. No, net trigger. I have people I work with. Obi when you pa almost 70 years. Ni mama ni papa. It was about 20 years ago. It happened around Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, you can imagine that how long that happened. So, oh dear, when those things triggers and happen, say yeah, trauma. When exactly it happened? Anytime at those times in neighborhood, then you begin to increase activities that will help suppress and also manage or symptoms. So knowing what triggers, is good. You have to watch out for those triggers and send a bear and reno you know how to manage it.
Minim do person answer question when some brana I have bidie but yeah nyama kakra bi ha e delay it no e die ne friend no boda meniti
I'll say something. But the is more likely bipolar.
Okay.
Also because of that manic way, nipa ni you okay Nipa you okay because when on the nipa no so on we communicate fine. But one trait in say a car say yeah we no manic we ni the person can go into hallucination and delusional state, psychosis, So during the manic stage, over to me I express say about down for like schizophrenic symptoms in the kakra. But after episode nichuma no atia ba no man akwa we aden na enya nura na ko na na say no that's what ye hu say that is it. But obia sabi what bought the man kasa Ghana ye can say what bought down here schizophrenic and on there I didn't know most of them like because on that gross so yeah on that gross no you waiting to know atia wo say e scammer no obesesa asborn also who are say but on only is looking different.
And when they are
yeah, and I say even with mental health condition, in episode, and they be an asebio, the friend about them, and all the time I nipan about them so sometimes so normal kakra, but because say psychosis no a dose on their friend about them ne dose need you drink say beer oba normal you drink say beer oma
say but down for the one ton the crown na nya
I think say beer na na your friend bother me need but I don't really know what people mean by bother me need maybe that is bipolar
bipolar oh it's dey be onya how dey why you bother me need onya ye bia na
exactly yeah.
Obaapapa, I deba call see you when you say medication. You ain't any specific medication, but I know say that's a huge topic. I'll say, sir, with some of these symptoms with edumana ye no. Ye won't conform ye eduma kasi o. And yet because another met ye drink say mental health ye here for yare. And yet here for yare. We see a lot of big people. We see project managers, we see nurses, we see doctors, even
judges,
themselves. Even
lawyers.
we see some of the young clinicians. So, and yes, sir, obi year on your no way. Anybody can have mental health issue, right? But the woman said medication plays a key part, something like bipolar. No? You'll be surprised. Obi almost a state be after you didn't call hospital near the need to a drone so now or bar. Oh baby, come. A lot of people are living on some bipolar meds that are being managed by almost psychiatrists.
Right.
Every month, maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 months, they see them and a drone management, right? So some of these can be managed by behavior change and other things, but some of them you need some medications.
Okay. Some medication no mema ye die ewi o but moye mbeme ye amuso mo ha die ye nka emema because minim say emema dodo na no oh let me fight through it let me me die I say oh me na me bema nti no bema no numedura you know but na bibia no efutuo ben na mo woma ye mema say bi o problems ah e was so seeking for help. Oh, no, I crack. And China the bufu, and I be near before grana. It's me, there's a mummy who says, I'm money lead it to something. A dear foot to a woman and merman, ye merman.
The mechanic say, we are bear if unity, when I if unity. It is a ukoe kuku, na say a ball shehwa, wahow yere, wahow ma. Inti usoya bear ene was say mom cry now to America now corporate help. Said about benya hoarding to me dia ye adwuma ahwe oyere ene woma because see the new chrome hano say nipa ba ku free mu ana say ba wo ye tu cry te sen pressure na e was sister no ano ohye na impromptu wo free mu aja oba ene mofra no nti afoto am no ma ne se wo ye bema o wo ye oba o obia tuminya ya de ne bi abofra obia etuminya bi nti but wo so wo ye wa adwen se wo bepe moa se de be ya obetumanya ahoden na wa ma oyere na wo ma ani anyo ntanta.
Okay. Frank, before now did you become maybe say what can we say we will say high pressure it me affect so psychologically and
okay so me finish say okay so another thing and so are African men I would say African men are higher because we're not allowed to express ourselves emotionally. Bema nsu na bema pa na usu sa no please onu so ye nipa mocha woni mu sa bema nsu no na pile up bema nsu nti oye bema of course also money up also no timi whatever is going up na build up e drum rebi a ti say nsu a odi asija so no e drum rebi a you cannot hold it again or say that e huru faso so men can be emotional and a man should allow and as a family should allow their men to also express their emotions without pointing fingers at them.
Okay.
Because the moment you do that, and then the man bears near to pile up no. Because it will reach a point in time or your whine or be form and a kicking also like that and our bones and no I bent out nafi a cofania be and it will end up to say the Daniel kind. In African community, you say Beman a tree, but a butchery has a dear. Or basu to me tree because it's a Beman tough of ma. That's when I ban so oh yeah then oh sorry now also oh boy. So the women should allow their men to express themselves emotionally. No more some hey na Beman now they also oh yeah ways please. Or no see any part.
Okay.
Because oh yes, I one kasa ho.
Okay.
And one thing I also tell people all the time, say, when it comes to mental health, put yourself first. So one found who ends your first. If anything happens to you, anyone who depends on you also falls with you.
Okay.
But say, oh, don't who see one on first there. Now you're when you are well, everybody depending on you as well.
That's true. What can me money be into my sister Enka, and because almost say a more African community, no pressure, no high pressure, no, and also to me cause mental
Okay. In some way, no. I'll say send kind a shrubia need a course ne condition. Obi wa ha the mere fact say you're diagnosing with a high blood pressure. Obetimi adre na me pa na menya pressure. Obetimi adre ma that adjustment no can lead to depression. And obi nso wa ha owo eno de yanka ho asem anxiety no ebi a panic attack otiminya panic attack e ma ne pressure so ye de ekosoro etimi create cycle ema sa nipa no eti high blood pressure no even ebia minim de cause high blood pressure so bia ne de cause ebia na ye didie mu eno so yanka ho asem edidie so timi cause mental health condition.
Oh, really?
Yes. Eduane ayendi ni ye ebi a high blood pressure ne symptoms bi wo ha ehurobia ne ha wo no affect no ebi ntimi ma ne nda ye say na na ye no etimi cause mental etimi ye cycle eti edwuma ba kwa ameye I work with sebi omo yare omo terminal conditions. Yenya diagnosing na ohia therapist because that condition na wenya no ebetimi leading to mental health condition ama ne symptoms no I increase some medical condition I increase ama sebio ebia wo so wu in a year's time ebia 5 years time obo sa condition na no esan say mental health part no anye treated niti no na ama ne life ayede aye shorten nti no yes in some way but esro bia enita na ye stress say wa who signs be Mr. Seek professional help and a professional help no by we do assessment and my who dear course way any dear course way na then you provided the right kind of behavior management amount.
Okay. Your last words are obekano na me pato one my efutu so omo go sa problem ya diagnose omo ye de omo to eduro so but eduro no omo.
My last words are making say yamo adro na sa won no ma ebia wonu madro na e obibi e yew anema o feel inti na won no no your nro bebre or your options or one o prescriber na say psychiatrist and nipa o tradro ni ma no enkasa na ka de how inti a won no madro nche na mompe alternative because I to say o yare ye mo adra be boa a regularity na wonnom na say ayare sana na wonya den wompese wo benya but say wonnom na ye obibi a empe like ye obibi but as won feel fine and say wild ope eje adro no ko honi pa na otroma no na ni nipa ne nkasa say e bia me no madro na mi sei mani nye ho no mompe alternative medication mana try foforo rather than say obey you a free so because you free so na say yeah I na will give it up no and you know say a pile up sit or can I say so she is just no a boiler do by bia na say then be on a be if you go na so ho na be woro so what I say auntie the mechanic say adro de menim say ne no ma ya nyo obi ampa adro no but say the mawa na say onom na say enye wo ho fine just talk to your doctor and change it
okay
rather than say obaka say me nom kra na wajai
that's it when is minim so nya marriage counselor there but me just say mo aduma mo ye nyina ne so no e fa enu so bi because munya eyi wo ho complaints won ti no adesua ne remu nti ma me o last words na wo the advice so about omo anase se wo abusive relationship mo a terms of marriage anase mo and also ekoso some mental and what do you have to do?
Yes, abuse, no, your friend of domestic violence. Say, only on hoka for ho, na bia or ye eniema bi ema ne bro so. Sometimes say ano kasa verbal abuse, ebia emotional abuse. Oba timi abuse bema. Bema so timi abuse oba. Parents etimi abusing kwala. Etian your friend domestic violence. Sometimes even external family member onenete etimi abuse o. It's only a domestic violence. And no say sia aya na depending on the level of abuse no. Obi wa ha the abuser no and as a perpetrator no ebi wa ha on ma victim ne chance mpo no seeking for help. Ye domestic violence hotline e wo ho no mo. I no frɛ ya no emu bia e wo ho bia no obey de ubenya ana mpatro say we go through abuser don't sit at home and ka say be ye Mr. Come, we are here to help. Ye wo ho no mo mo bebre wo ho no mo baby na wo hia atena so we meet criteria ne nko a wo ne wo man we can remove you from home near mama safe place atena. It could be financial abuse, another thing. Ebia moya worry for. And so no waketri akra hu baby enam. Ewo hono financial exploitation is another form of abuse. And obi wo ha ne elderly. Ebia ne nebusenyi bia or akokra na sa brewe bi nete. It could be financial exploitation. It could be abuse. Elderly ebia wa hwe krampa ye nhwe wo yie ebia wo busuani no waka kira ban se wade atum se mehwe me sorry me pepa ho me dwaro me yo say but you are not getting it ni nyina ya abuse ni bia ite no obe stress obe fret for help ite no enya aware mu nkwa na mom household no there could be abuse going on and mo bi amfant na fie mesre mo let's call for help.
Okay. Yenua Frank area mema mo dey help no baby alliance and you know atoto na yehu. Frank ma memra ho na also end the mame with change of environment and ye man kura e bia ye omo free school we mu akọ we mu and omo free omo ko college near you know. How do that affect them psychologically?
Okay, me that's it. I think that Ningina has to do with there is something here about your friend saying cry echo high school that break, you know. Even and no I know yet sir adjustment phase and there is a lot like they think that high school is so special and who else like sa nyoma nema and who so changing or switching and going there no becomes very difficult. What you say. So that is the other one and so a change in the be obi free Ghana eba krum half of rat depending on baby or best friend. Ubet me aba now no mommy or no papa no busia phone na and all but we ninja. What I say and no see a stage into during that time no or say a busiana ye then air support your money pani who say oh saying it here adjustment in it because Ghana is different. Ghana has some show so just before so be walking every few crampo akọ we no na half a crack because you have an outlet
right
but I say no any fan alcohol so definitely adjustment because and that's another diagnosis we have in our Bible DSM because your adjustment disorder with depression with anxiety it's say or and I say what has it into during that time phase, you know, money go through near maybe or meeting that criteria.
Okay.
So no kahon and me advice me de ebe ma obi biara or here edin ba meka especially in African community na nye Ghana for nko a adwuma no pacho Montessori vacation most mu deserve say mu take time off to sit home to relax. You deserve it. Why should we working 16 hours and all that? We burning ourselves out. Oh, Eddie, but we know family now move in. To say they make yes, they need the dollars. People are depending on you, but if you break down, they also break down with you.
Right.
So you have to be okay to be giving them that support. You know? So please, time off by also take it be. Yeah, now most more pray for Abrafon. You must more pray hours with us. They don't.
Maybe.
They don't. Yeah, na they be 16 hours. Obi yeah, Juma more than even 16 hours. Go please, you break your home up. Some of these things are extreme stress that leads to some of these mental health issues.
Right.
Because Obi are just a long way to grandpa. You end up taking coffee. Because so why no coffee now yeah day won't mean your word man and so be another addiction for you. But we don't know because and no na be idea a wow
Stimulant.
Emma we win stimulate you just to be alert and be able to work. So please, edumane dey scan dey yeah, but please 7 days a week a day. Bonnie ben why? Please, you take a break. Near so you relax be. That's it.
Meda wase asema yede na watch cam and I enya bema e dey 1 minute I carry you. Wa carry which is very good because since me wo e ndin si e beti but eye so si yeti yeti especially free and comfort sem mu a masua nyema bi a munim sinas yes anyema no pempen so ana say die etimi di ye ekowie nti Frank me da se pass wetimi aboso nti no sa wo sa problem si na yabobo boso nyina bia ehe fa na ohia mbo a wetimi from
number one and the easiest one 911.
911
Offer 911 na o can o problem chowa there are people who are more your first responders respond and they will be able to reconnect you to all other resources. But Massachusetts the new number biaba for suicide and crisis 988 simple 988 and I offer 988 the new dedicated line 2022 yana or more year no because na someone who how say we are obi afre 911 or other states and I ended up in shooting then pana ya kuno because but na mental health condition but the police be respond over time ni pana and then ya shoot no we into almost that developing number way specifically to differentiate 911 988 into 911 the ni so fry police but for 988 and they go straight to mental health services. Okay. But say if our domestic violence is domestic violence number nini 800 799 7233 800 799 7233 into when a domestic violence number and the 988 suicide any help now and there's difference between domestic violence and suicide in there for suicide prevention because feel suicide that's also who feel hopeless when in and our friend then they will get someone to help you and answer for 911 almost obey me are connected to all these resources.
For your bedroom was bebree. Ebia na yewie ya e na wodi uTV ne eto ha mu se ya ye nwa bema e free eye no ho awo eba no eye Mr Frank Techi apia oye mental health clinician e wo ye ya ye Worcester ha mu se ya e na wenye odo pa ene e pepa ende obetina ha mu se e kire ensemu e kire ye no sanso na ye ba pa ko anka de bi obeso ode ne hota na so woni so Obaapapa Theo yenya hupa de otimi ye de a eye de ani a na wo se atwoba na beboa adofo no mu e warefo e wo mba na so we je omu nyina wo jane djuma so abetina ha itimi any abe have this good discussion ono so eye behavioral health clinician LICS eno na ye de ne e do so pa o
yeah, LIC, a licensed independent clinical social worker.
Wow. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Samson, I owe you your bema out Simmons and you pass were here. brother Daniel Jemfi ono so ni de ne so do so oye LSWA comma I the man I explaining ni na to me na go try na menkeka osan so IOP and a DHM no ni nyina bo ma na say DHM
okay DMH ni Department of Mental Health in Massachusetts Hanoms department take responsibility in dealing with our mental health no e ho na me adwuma
mu cheche mo bi ko kam say o brother no DMH Okay.
And LSWA no so licensed social worker associate and I open here industrial organizational psychologist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I say, who say, and yankwa NSC and we say Sano a babu kumwa oma ben ewu esia sa adwemu ya wie ewu kwan a ofaso ye de no ma ohutimi to omo cheche nyama bebre amiyehu enti mesrew e start ye na ya chiro de to aso a bebe wo so okọ no apemboa se da be omo so nyasa de bia ene na omo so se ye tata omo sa ti mesrew omo so ni ye na wo Worcester no se megidi se bebre ba Easter Benedict so okọ Pentecost ena
me call Baptist
brass ko Baptist ena ye nua be man so eye Presbyterian enti no wo de open omo individual na bia nkomo bi wo ho na person ni omudi a wo de so ntimi nyom ka wo Obaapapa tua I mean they always welcome people. That's one thing I like about them. Omo no betina se no ma church ro nyema no ma chiro kwan a obetimi afa so ni bebi a obetimi akonya embo nyina ntuntimi enyom namba ye ya wo hu mi a mema wo hu omo so obebi omo dia ti ebeda mo ase ni adam ase kese pa se ne mbeka me hu Obaapapa tua TV so ni e de nchirechire yi baye adofo no amutie ye besire mo bebre sister network no endi amboaye but fortunately ya record unya abotre ntino ye de beto one mo ne ye de link no asene mo na mo nya abotre mo am time mu na motimi ahye na mosua ade nso efiri mo dofo pa Obaapapa tiu na mdi dwuma ni chia me producers Kandra and Damien enso tai ifidie n'echi na omu chinchin emaye ye de mo nyina ase se mo betie ye pa to so when it dwumadi yi ho a na wa share ama odofo bi nso enye bi ahye ye the program mu ehwam ko a ene kwemu ya me nsira mo no nka mo no mbo mu nyina mo ho bai ye da mas